Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shrutis Pratipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Paramananda Madhavam. We are going to study a prakarana grantha named Vakyavritti. This is one of the most important prakarana granthas authored by Bhagavan Sri Sankaracharya. Vritti means explanation. Vakya means sentence. So literally, Vakyavritti means the explanation of a sentence. Explanation of a sentence elicits an expectancy. What sentence? And first of all, why sentence? A complete unit of communication is a sentence. A complete unit of communication. A word is not a complete unit of communication, even though it is a unit of communication. He, word. But then we'll ask what? He is what? Here. All right. Then we are happy. Then we don't have any questions. We are complete. A sentence is a complete unit of communication. And therefore, an explanation is required if that unit of communication is not clear. When will you require an explanation? When something is not clear, you will require an explanation. He is here. All right. Do you need any explanation? No. You're okay with that. But if the sentence is not clear, you will definitely want an explanation. So what is that sentence which is not clear, about which we require an explanation? And what is that sentence which is so important that requires an explanation? So it should be important. Otherwise, something is not clear and then you give an explanation. But you don't want to know about it. Why should you give an explanation? There are so many things you say, please don't explain to me. I don't want to know about it. No, I don't want to. Other person wants to tell. No, I don't want to know. Or not? So a sentence is a complete unit of communication. But for an explanation to be there should be ambiguity and there should be a desire to know. So ambiguity and desire are prerequisites for an explanation. Ambiguity, sandeha. desire to know, jignasa. So, sandeha, another word for sandeha is what in Sanskrit? Samshaya, doubt. Sandeha, samshaya, both of them mean doubt. So, the communication, even though it is complete, it is not clear for some reason. The person who utters the sentence, he feels that he has communicated fully. But for you, the reader or the listener, the sentence is not clear. And then, most importantly, you want to know it clearly. If it is not clear, that is one thing, but you don't want to know, then there is no explanation required also. So first, it is not clear, and most importantly, you want clarity. So what is that sentence which is not clear? And what is that sentence that we all want to know clearly? We are all students of Vedanta. So here sentence is not a sentence from Shakespeare. To be or not to be. It is not clear. But I don't want to know about that. E is equal to mc squared, complete sentence. But, okay, we are students of Vedanta, and as students of Vedanta, we all have heard some sentences which are considered to be the complete message of the Upanishads. We have heard some sentences like that. As students of Vedanta, we have heard those sentences. And those sentences are considered to be prime. Those sentences are considered to be most important. Those sentences are considered to be full of wisdom. Those sentences are considered to be the ultimate, complete message of the entire Vedanta. And those sentences, because they are sentences, no doubt, but because they are of this nature. What nature? Because they contain the complete essence of the Upanishads, the Vedanta. Therefore, those sentences are called mahavakyas. Actually, it is Vakya only. It is not Mahavakya, it is just Vakya. But then we call it Mahavakya. Essentially, it is Vakya only. The word Mahat, glorious, we have added to it. The word Mahat, from which Mahavakya comes. Vakya means sentence. Mahavakya, Mahat, cha Vakyam cha. It is Mahat, Mahat cha, Tadeva Vakyam cha. It is Mahat as well as Vakya. Why it is Mahat? Because it contains a complete message of the Upanishads. And these Mahavakyas we have heard. And what are the Mahavakyas that we have heard? Can you please tell what are the Mahavakyas? Remember, Vakyavritti means what? You want to know about the Vakya. So you should have heard the Vakyas. Prajnanam Brahma, then Tat Tvam Asi, then Aham Brahmasmi, then Ayam Atma Brahma. These are famously known as the Mahavakyas. So all of us have heard. And all these Mahavakyas teach only one thing. And what is that? That you are the Supreme. You are the Supreme. I, in my real nature, is the ultimate. When we say supreme, ultimate, sometimes these words are not clear. Supreme means, what do you mean? I am supreme. I am ultimate. What do you mean by that? When we say supreme, ultimate, what we mean is that it is the complete fullness of all our aspirations. It is the fullness of all our aspirations. What do I aspire? I aspire my existence. That is something. When I say I aspire my existence means what? I love to be existent everywhere. Even a shop, if it has got my name, I feel very happy about it. Have you seen that? And if somebody has got your name, immediate bonding. And somebody's child has got your name, immediately you feel love. It's just the name. But the name is me. And I feel I am existing. And I do so many things to enable my existence. I want to do something which outlives me. Existence. I want to do something which tells about me. Existence. I'm so happy that my child is going to carry forward my name. Existence. In every way, I want to continue. This continuity of the self, the permanency of the self, I seek an aspiration. And I want to know. I want to be well aware. I do not want to be ignorant. If two people are talking, what are you talking? Why should you ask what are you talking? They are talking. No. I want to know. And if somebody knows so much, I feel he's a very knowledgeable person. I wish I also know. And I plan out my schedule to know. I want to read a newspaper and keep myself up to date. I want to watch some programs and keep up to date. In many ways, I want to know. When we meet somebody, we ask them, what is your name? Why? What do you do? Why? I want to know. Who is telling I want to know? Nobody is telling. It is just me like that. Knowledge is essential to me. The aspiration to seek more is essential to me. Of course, I don't have to say seeking happiness is core aspiration too. So, I want to know, I want to be, I want to know, I want happiness. And I want to be ever, I want to know all if possible. And I want happiness fully. These are my core aspirations. And when Vedanta says, you are that, what Vedanta is telling is that you are what you are seeking. You are by nature pure existence. You are in truth complete knowledge. And you are essentially pure bliss. So, when we say ultimate, when we say supreme, what we mean is this existence, this knowledge, this bliss. And hence, all these mahavakyas point out to this. I am what I seek. And this what I seek is termed Brahman. That is the name given for what I seek. Because the word Brahman means big, complete, full. Brihatvat Brahma. That is how the word comes out. And therefore, when the mahavakyas say, I am that supreme, naturally it is not clear. I don't follow. Yes, I want these, but when you tell me I am already what I am seeking, it's not clear. Therefore, there is a lack of clarity. And if there's lack of clarity and still you say, it's not clear, but it's okay, it's okay, I'm not interested to know, and I walk away from here, then Vakyavritti is not for you. It is not clear, and I want it to become clear, then Vakyavritti is for you. I am Brahman. Is this clear? Is this clear? If you are clear, you can get up and go. Is it clear? Something I have heard, studied little bit, but I won't mind becoming more clear. All right. Do you want it to become clear? Yes. If you say yes, you can remain. So please say yes. If you say yes, please raise your hand. So Vakyavritti is an explanation on the Mahavakya. We already said that there are 4 Mahavakyas, well-known Mahavakyas. Any statement of the Upanishad which gives us this knowledge, I am what I seek. I am what I seek. Aham. Brahma, what I seek. Asmi. Any statement which gives us knowledge is Mahavakya. Please understand, please note that every Upanishad gives us knowledge. And therefore, every Upanishad will have a Mahavakya. Because every Upanishad gives us knowledge. Even though we have said 4 Mahavakyas, Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvam Asi, Ayam Atma Brahma, they are only representative in nature. What do you mean representative in nature? Because Mahavakyas are there in every Upanishad. Because every Upanishad gives this very same knowledge. And therefore, every Upanishad will have a Mahavakya. Any Upanishad have you studied? Kathopanishad. Studied? Going on. It has Mahavakya coming again and again. Etat Vaitat, Etat Vaitat. Any other Upanishad have you studied? Kaivalya Upanishad. Where is Mahavakya there? Have you memorized Kaivalya Upanishad? Tat Tvameva Tat. Mahavakya. Any one of you have studied Kena Upanishad here? If you have studied, please raise your hand. Don't worry, I won't ask you a question. But you can raise your hand. How many of you studied Kena Upanishad? Please raise your hand. Please. Anyadeva tat viditat ato aviditat adi Mahavakya there. So what I mean is that every Upanishad will have a Mahavakya. Even though every Upanishad is Mahavakya, in order to give a sample Mahavakyas, we choose one Mahavakya from one Veda, in which the Upanishads of course are there. And thus, from Rig Veda, we have taken the Mahavakya from Maitreya Upanishad, which is Prajnanam Brahma. And from Yajurveda, we have, do you want to say that Mahavakya together? What is the Mahavakya from Rig Veda? Prajnanam Brahma. From which Upanishad it is coming? Aitareya Upanishad. Yajurveda, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Mahavakya there, Aham Brahmasmi. Samaveda, example Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. Mahavakya there, Tat Tvam Asi. And then Atharva Veda. Example Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. Atharva Veda, Mandukya Upanishad. And what is the Mahavakya? Ayam Atma Brahma. So 4 Upanishad representative from 4 Vedas. 4 Vedas representative 4 Upanishad. And from 4 Upanishad, 1 Mahavakya. That is how these 4 Mahavakyas, they contain the message of all the Vedas. And if you see, all these Mahavakya mean the same. Meaning what? The whole Veda has only one message. All the Upanishads of all the Vedas, they all give one message. And that message is communicated through a sentence, because that is a complete communication. A sentence. And that Vakya we are going to study. Now you may say, Swamiji, yes, now you have told me that there is sample Mahavakyas are taken, and we are going to study. Of the 4 Mahavakya, which Mahavakya we are going to study? Of the 4 Mahavakyas, this text Vakyavritti is an explanation on the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi. But please remember, every Mahavakya tells the same message. Therefore, in studying Tat Tvam Asi, you study all the Mahavakyas. So you should not think, Swamiji, Tat Tvam Asi Mahavakya I understood. Now one more text I require. And please, Aham Brahmasmi, one text let us have. Same thing. Of course, there are texts which explain each of the Mahavakyas. For example, Manisha Panchakam. Manisha Panchakam, each verse 1, 2, 3, 4 explains the 4 Mahavakyas in the order that we mentioned. And the 5th verse gives the fruit of this knowledge. Panchadashi, chapter 5, that also explains the Mahavakyas. Alright? So in this way, there are texts and there are subtexts I have seen also which analyzes the Mahavakyas in all the major Upanishads. There are the texts I have seen which analyzes what is the Mahavakya in the written by Adi Sankaracharya only. So that way many texts are there. So we have seen Vakya, we have seen Vritti, we have seen Mahavakya, right? And we have seen what are the various Mahavakyas, and we have seen also what is the Mahavakya we are going to study. Pujya Gurudev defines Mahavakya very nicely as identity revealing statement. Identity revealing statement. Can you all say that with me? Identity revealing statement. Vakya statement. And what is Maha about this Vakya? And that Maha, great about this Vakya is because it is identity revealing. So Gurudev's translation of Mahavakya is identity revealing statement. And what is the identity it reveals? It reveals that I am one with what I am seeking. It shows my identity with what I am seeking. Today I think I'm an individual, a mere bundle of flesh. I take myself to be a mass of thoughts. And this bundle of flesh and mass of thoughts, I take myself to be that, and I feel limited. When I know my real nature, I will know myself as already that existence, already that knowledge, and already that happiness what I am seeking. And therefore, identity revealing statement is Mahavakya. I said right at the beginning that Vakyavritti is a prakarana grantha. Did I say that word? Some of you who must be hearing this word prakarana grantha for the first time may want to know what is a prakarana grantha. Literally, the word prakarana grantha means text. Prakarana means topic. And therefore, the prakarana grantha, the word means topical text. Which means that there are many topics discussed, and prakarana grantha takes one topic for discussion. That is one meaning of prakarana grantha. But truly speaking, a prakarana grantha does not mean it will discuss only one topic. Because there are texts which discuss all topics. For example, take the prakarana grantha Viveka Chudamani. It discusses all possible topics of Vedanta. How can you call prakarana grantha? Why? Take even Vakyavritti. Even though in Vakyavritti the focus is on mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi, all topics of Vedanta are covered. So when we say prakarana to text, what do we mean by prakarana? Actually speaking, prakarana grantha means elementary text. What it means is that it is meant for those who do not have the wherewithal, who do not have the power of comprehension of those high texts which are too deep or requires a greater knowledge to go through them. Take for example the Upanishads. They require a greater knowledge to go into them. Otherwise you can get lost in them. After studying all the various, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, you study all of them and finally you wonder, what is the teaching? Because it is little vast, and also we may not have that knowledge of logic, yukti, or we may not have that much knowledge of vyakarana to make meaning out of it. And therefore, it is quite possible that one can get lost into those higher texts. They are called Shastra Grantha, they are called. The Upanishads, the Brahma Sutra, the Bhagavad Gita, they are all very deep texts. And therefore, somebody who wants to know the message of these texts in a very short way, prakarana grantha. Also, if somebody wants to read those texts, study those texts, how they can prepare for that? Through basic texts. And these basic texts are called prakarana grantha. Please note what I said. I said the word prakarana essentially means topic, and therefore prakarana grantha means topical text, which means it should devote itself to one topic of the many topics which are dealt in Vedanta. But not necessarily every prakarana grantha is a mere prakarana grantha. Yes, there are prakarana granthas which deal only one topic. For example, you take the text Advaita Makaranda. Anybody has studied Advaita Makaranda? Puja Guruji would be taking Advaita Makaranda in the month of August here. It deals only with clarity, removal of doubts in the message of Vedanta. That is a prakarana grantha. But not necessarily every prakarana grantha only takes up one topic. Some prakarana granthas take all topics. But then why do we call prakarana grantha? Because it is not Shastra grantha. Therefore it is prakarana grantha. So it takes up all topics, no doubt, but gives basic knowledge. Lucidity is there. And therefore, even though we are going to study Vakyavritti, which is a prakarana grantha, remember, you will be getting the message of the entire Vedanta. But the focus is the analysis of the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi. So through the analysis of the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi, Adi Sankaracharya would give to us the entire Vedanta. All right. So shall we go into the text now? Yes. So Brahmachari Ved will read the verse and line by line, and as he reads, you repeat. Then afterwards, once the repetition is over, we chant the whole verse together.
सर्गस्थिति प्रलय हेतुमचिन्त्य शक्तिम् विश्वेश्वरं विदित विश्वमनन्तमूर्तिम् निर्मुक्तबन्धनमपार सुखाम्बुराशिम् श्रीवल्लभं विमलबोधघनं नमामि सर्गस्थितिप्रलयहेतुमचिन्त्य शक्तिं विश्वेश्वरं विदित विश्वमनन्तमूर्तिं निर्मुक्तबन्धनमपार सुखाम्बुराशिं श्रीवल्लभं विमलबोधघनं नमामि.
You all have read the verse? Namami, where is the word? Last word. Namami means I prostrate. To whom do I prostrate? Vimala Bodha Ghanam Namami. I prostrate to Vimala Bodha Ghanam. Vimala Bodha Ghanam? Bodha, knowledge. Vimala Bodha, pure knowledge. Vimala Bodha Ghanam, one who is a mass of pure knowledge. Meaning, I prostrate to the pure consciousness. I prostrate to the pure consciousness. What do you mean by pure? Pure means that which contains nothing other than that. When we say clean, when we say pure, when we say pristine, that's what we mean, is it not? Clean shirt. What do we mean by clean shirt? Nothing other than the shirt is there. Therefore, it is clean shirt. When I say pure knowledge, what I mean is that it is that knowledge which does not contain any object of knowledge. Now knowledge, consciousness, but consciousness of object is there, is it not? Pure consciousness is there, but what is the consciousness now? Our experience is consciousness plus the world of object. I know this, I know that. So I is there, consciousness is there, plus object is there. What is pure knowledge? Pure knowledge is consciousness minus object. So I offer my salutations to pure consciousness. But how can you offer your salutations to pure consciousness? You are the pure consciousness. Is it not? How can there be prostration to pure consciousness? Pure consciousness means minus object. So what we mean? Consciousness you cannot prostrate when it is pure. That consciousness, we have to provide for it a seeming difference. We have to imagine difference between me and that consciousness. How can I imagine difference between me and pure consciousness? If that consciousness I connect it to the world. If I make that consciousness distinct from me, then I will be able to prostrate. So how do I make that consciousness different from me? I can seemingly create the difference. For example, this is room space. Is it not? And then I say total space. Remember, total space and room space, there is no actual difference. Why there is no actual difference? Because space is only one. But space can be imagined to be room space, total space. In the same way, pure consciousness, I can imagine it to be total consciousness, individual consciousness. And that total consciousness is the Lord, Vishveshwaram. So in order to worship that pure consciousness, that consciousness becomes the Lord. Vishveshwaram. Vishveshwaram? Vishveshwaram? Lord of the world. Vishveshwaram. Lord of the world means what? It is a total consciousness. Individual space, room space, total space. Vishveshwaram. And as God, what is that consciousness? What is the function of that consciousness? When we say Lord of the world, what is the function? Sarga, Sthiti, Pralaya, Hetum. It becomes a cause for the Sarga. Sarga is creation. Sthiti, existence. Pralaya, destruction. It is from that consciousness, from that infinite consciousness, the world arises. In that consciousness, the world exists, and into that consciousness, the world ends. Not from this individual consciousness, but from that total consciousness. And how does this consciousness, which is pure in nature, how does it get this capacity to create this world? How does it have the capacity to become the cause for the world's existence? And how does it get the capacity for the pralaya of the world? Achintya Shaktim. Achintya Shaktim, that Shakti Maya, it is endowed with that power of Maya. Achintya Shakti Yasya Vartate. That power of Maya, with whom it is, that Lord Achintya Shakti. Alright? So that Bhagavan, who is the cause of the world, and how does he become the cause of the Srishti, Sthiti and Laya of the world? Because of being endowed with the power of Maya. And as that Lord, that Bhagavan, how does he appear? He appears as this entire world of infinite forms. Vidita Vishwam Ananta Murtim. Can you see these words? Where is Vidita Vishwam? Second line. Where is Ananta Murtim? Second last. So how did we move forward? We said prostrate to the pure consciousness. Namami Vimalabodha Ganam. But how can you prostrate to pure consciousness? Make an imaginary difference between yourself and that pure consciousness. But how can I make an imaginary difference between myself and the pure consciousness? I, Lord. Space example. Room space, total space. Even though space is one. Pure consciousness. And then total consciousness. The self, individual consciousness and total consciousness. And the total consciousness becomes God, the Lord. And as the Lord, the power is different. The source of the creation, the sustenance and the destruction. And how does the Lord become this? Achintya Shaktim, because of the power of Maya. And the Lord with the power of the Maya, when he creates the universe, does he remain here and create the universe there? No, he himself becomes the whole world. Vidita Vishwam, the world which is known, which is of infinite forms. And then when he becomes this world of infinite forms, then is he suffering because he has become the whole world? No. Nirmukta Bandham. No suffering for him. Why? We as individual forget our real nature and take ourselves with the body. Whereas for Bhagavan never forgets his real nature. For him it is Leela to be all this world. The actors who are in the movie, they act and they show this and that emotion. And they're very happy to show all the emotions to you. You and I sitting there watching the movie, we cry. But the actor gets money. We pay money to cry. They get money to act. There's a difference. We are the Jiva. Bhagavan is untouched by his Leela. And because for him it's a play, he doesn't actually suffer. And therefore, Nirmukta Bandham. Free of bondage, no doubt. But is he just free of bondage, a negative state? No. Apara Sukhamburashim. Apara Sukhamburashim. He is the endless ocean of bliss. Apara, endless. Sukha, bliss. Amburashi, ocean. Ambu, water. Amburashi, collection of water, ocean. And this Bhagavan of this nature who appears as the Jiva, who appears as the Ishvara, Maheshvara, and this Bhagavan also takes a form for me so that I can worship him. Even though he is infinite. Even though he is infinite. And therefore, I can have a concept of him as total consciousness, Maheshwaram. But still, if I want to worship him as a murti, as a form, because I am limited. Because I am limited, I feel comfortable with the limited form. Even though he is infinite. And that infinite form, out of compassion for me, takes a form, and that form is Sri Vallabham. Sri Vallabham, Sri Lakshmi. Sri Vallabham, dear to Lakshmi. Dear to Lakshmi, Bhagavan Vishnu. So, Bhagavan as Jiva, Bhagavan as Ishvara, and Bhagavan as Ishvara Rupa, Sri Vallabha. I offer my salutations to all. So this is only first verse, okay? Actually, a lot of depth is there. It is not appropriate for me to go right at the beginning of the text and give all those elaboration, because such verses are called Mangala Charana verses. These Mangala Charana verses are meant for the student and the teacher to together prostrate and invoke the Lord's grace and blessings for the pursuit of study. It is not a verse meant for deep, elaborate, philosophical explanations. Because that deep philosophical explanation, the student will be capable of himself once he finishes the whole text. But this is to give us an upliftment so that we worship the Lord in all the forms of Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, and Ishvara Murti. All is worshipped. Okay? Shall we read the verse together? What are we going to do as we read the verse? Worship Bhagavan. Sargasthiti pralaya hetumachintya shaktim Vishveshwaram vidita vishvamanantamurtim Nirmukta bandhanam apara sukhamburashim Shri Vallabham Vimalabodhaganam namami. All right. But this Lord alone appears, this Ishvara alone appears as a Guru Murti also. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. So that Ishvara appears as Jiva. Brahma appears as Ishvara, Brahma appears as Guru, Brahma appears as Jiva, Brahma appears as Jagat, Brahma appears as Bhagavan Vishnu, Ishvara Murti. This knowledge who gave me? This knowledge was given to me by my Guru. Yasya prasadat, because of his compassion I got. So Shankaracharya in the next verse prostrates to his Guru. Because who is Guru? Guru is none other than Ishvara coming for me. Ishvara can come in many forms. Ishvara himself is a Jagat. Great. But then this Jagat is problematic for me. Ishvara can come as a Jiva. Yes, but I am troubled by myself. Ishvara can come as Bhagavan Vishnu. But where do I see? They say to have darshan of Bhagavan Vishnu, I must do upasana, do that. When will I get to see? But Ishvara, if I want him to come for me, I want Ishvara to come customized for me. And who is that Ishvara who is customized for me? Who comes personally to me and helps me out of this bondage and makes me liberated. That Ishvara for me is my Guru. Ishvara for me is my Guru. Why do I say Ishvara for me is my Guru? Ishvara coming as Guru gives me the knowledge of the ultimate and liberates me. Bhagavan's duty is to liberate me, is it not? But how does Bhagavan liberate me? Bhagavan does not liberate me staying in Vaikuntha. Bhagavan does not liberate me as Vishnu. Bhagavan does not liberate me as Jagat. Bhagavan does not liberate me as Jiva. Bhagavan liberates me as Guru. And therefore, Ishvara for me is Guru. Everything is Ishvara. But Ishvara for liberating me is my Guru. When I say Ishvara for me is Guru, you have to add something in the parenthesis. Ishvara for liberating me is my Guru. And therefore, in this verse, we find Bhagavan Shankaracharya prostrating to the Guru. Okay? And seeking his Guru's grace before the text moves forward.
Yasya prasadadahameva Vishnuhu Mayyeva sarvam parikalpitam cha Itham vijanami sadatmarupam Tasyangri padmam pranatosmi nityam Yasya prasadadahameva Vishnuhu Mayyeva sarvam parikalpitam cha Itham vijanami sadatmarupam Tasyangri padmam pranatosmi nityam.
Yasya prasadat, by whose grace? By whose grace means what? It is not that he gave me knowledge for any selfishness. He just gave me. I don't know what happened. Somehow he loved me. I didn't deserve it. But he somehow started liking me. And he says, somehow this worm deserves to be liberated. And he gave me that knowledge. And what kind of knowledge he gave me? He made me Ahameva Vishnu. That Bhagavan who appears as Jiva, that Bhagavan who appears as Ishvara, that Bhagavan who appears as Jagat, that Bhagavan who appears as Vishnu. He made me that. And did he stop me with making me that Vishnu? No. Mayyeva sarvam parikalpitam cha. He showed me that in me alone, this entire world is superimposed. Meaning, he showed me that I am the truth and this world is nothing but my appearance. Ishvara alone appears as a world, is it not? He showed me to be that Ishvara which is appearing as a world, which is Sarga, Sthiti, Pralaya, Hetu, which is a cause for the creation, sustenance and destruction of the world. So he showed me as that, not only Vishnu, he showed me as that Ishvara, Maheshwaram, it was said in the earlier verse, which is a cause for the Sarga, Sthiti and Laya. What is Sarga? Creation. What is Sthiti? Sustenance. What is Laya? Destruction. He showed me to be that Ishvara. Ittam vijanami. In this way, I know very clearly. Sad Atma Rupam. He showed me my true Jiva, the Jiva's true real nature. Has to be that Brahman. Sad Atma Rupam. He showed me my real nature. I took myself to be the Jiva. But he showed me my real nature. So that Bhagavan who appears as Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, he showed me to be everything. What can I do but just prostrate to my Guru? That Ishvara who appeared for me. Tasya angri padmam pranatosmi nityam. I can do nothing to him I can't, nothing to him means what? I can't offer anything in return to him. Just to be devoted to him is what all my life I shall be. Pranatah asmi nityam. If my Guru had showed me to be only Jiva, no. If my Guru had shown me to be only Ishvara, no. If my Guru had shown me to be only Jagat, no. If my Guru had shown me to be only Vishnu, no. He showed me to be everything. Ishvara is everything, and he came as Guru and showed me everything. What can I do to my Guru? I heard a very nice statement, something like this. It goes, God could not be everywhere, therefore he made mothers. I don't think God could not be everywhere. God is everywhere, but he can't show himself easily, therefore he made mothers. The same way, God cannot teach me in every way. Therefore, he came as Guru. To that Guru, I offer my salutations always. What else can I do? I can't say, Guru, come, I'll give you gulab jamun. He doesn't want gulab jamun. Can I give anything? I can't give anything. But what I can give is only devotion. Not that he wants devotion, but I feel fulfilled being devoted. Even devotion to Guru is not what Guru wants. That's what you naturally are. The word Vishnu also means Vyapaka. So Ahameva Vishnu means what? He made me the totality. He gave me the jnana, so avidya nivritti, removal of ignorance. And how did he give me? Itham vijanami. In this way he taught. In this way means what? Aparoksha. Vijanami. He gave me aparoksha jnana, not intellectual knowledge alone, and said, now after getting this intellectual knowledge, now I can't do anything because I am also ignorant, you also ignorant, both of us are ignorant, now let us. No. He gave me the knowledge and he took me to the beyond. Tasya Angri Padmam, lotus feet. Does Guru have feet like lotus? For me it is lotus. For me it is a delicate. Guru's feet is not for me, it is my bhava. It is that beauty. That feet is so beautiful for me. And like how the bees go searching for that honey to the lotus, I have gone searching for this lotus and I have found my fulfillment here. The only difference is that bee goes in search of lotus, but here the lotus came in search of me. That's the only difference. Because God comes as Guru. You can't find out the Guru. Guru has to find you. All that you can say is that I want this knowledge. And God finds you out. When God finds you out, you have found the Guru. God's discovery of the Jignasu is the creation of the Guru. All right. Then what? Since his knowledge has to be got from the Guru and not independently through one's own pursuit of the text, Upanishad. Shastrajñopi swatantriyena brahmanvesham na kuryat. Even though you are a great pandit, Shastrajña, but then swatantriyena, individually with some dictionaries and some kind of reference book, don't start the inquiry into Brahman. One should get this knowledge from the teacher. And therefore, in order to show that this knowledge should not be independently pursued, but should be only got from the Guru, only then you will be able to reach the ultimate. Otherwise, we'll get stuck up in some kind of mental imaginations of the reality, which the ego somehow will bring in to block the path. And therefore, in order to tell that this knowledge must be attained only from the lotus feet of the Guru, Bhagavan Shankaracharya presents the entire wisdom in the form of a student going to the teacher and the teacher giving the knowledge. So who is the student who is going? What is his nature? How does a teacher give him the knowledge? And what is the knowledge he gives? So the whole thing he presents in the form of a student-teacher samvada. Guru-Sishya samvada. Why is Guru-Sishya samvada presented? To tell us we have to gain this knowledge from the Guru. Okay, we'll take it up in the next session. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.